Hello, everybody. My name's Sean Woolley from Cloud9 Spain. I am just doing this little video today because a lot of clients are asking us what's happening in the market. Why is there a shortage of stock in certain developments and certain areas? Why are prices going through the roof? And I'm just going to show you, I'm going to give you evidence of that. And I'm going to explain why it's happening. And other agents probably won't do this, but I'm going to pick 5 key developments that I call quite prolific. So they're really well known, they're really well liked. They're resale developments. They've been around for a long time, but people, they're so well located, people still like staying there and buying there. So let's kick off with a development called Dominion Beach, which help if I could spell, on the New Golden Mile between Estepona and San Pedro. It's beachside, it's got an on-site restaurant. And on that development, just to give it some context, on that development, there's over 200 units, apartments, penthouses, townhouses. There's 209 actually. So the general rule of thumb in the market is that at any given time, there'll be normally between 5 and 10% of the available stock on the market available for sale. So in that case, it would equate to maybe between 10 and 20 properties for sale. And that would be fairly typical and has been fairly typical in the last sort of 20 years. On this occasion, you'll see there's only 3 for sale. A couple of townhouses and a middle floor apartment priced at $2 million. So that represents only 1.44% of the whole stock on the development, which is much, much lower than that normal range of 5 and 10%. Let's have a look at another development just to show you that it's not just confined to the odd place. Here's a development that, I'm sure if you've watched my videos, you'll know that I know this place really well. Four Seasons in Los Flamingos Golf Resort. Lovely development of 96 apartments and penthouses. And you'll see that there are only 3 available, and one of those is a reluctant vendor. So that, again, that represents just over 3% of the total available stock in Four Seasons. And when I was selling in there a couple of years ago, 2-bed apartments were going for anything between 325,000 and 350. You'll see they've leapt up by pretty much 20% in that time. Of course, because there's a shortage of available stock. Let's have a look at another one that I know very well, Señorita Marbella, which is located just above the Puente Romano Hotel. I haven't spelled that right. Excuse me. I did say it would help if I could spell. Señorita Marbella, just above the Puente Romano Hotel on the Golden Mile. There's only 2 units available there, and there's probably over 200 properties in total. So that's probably 1% of the available inventory is actually listed for sale. That's really, really low. Another one, let's show you El Presidente. A lot of inquiries we get for El Presidente. It's incredibly popular. That's on the New Golden Mile again between Estepona and San Pedro. You'll see there's 3 available, but actually 2 of those are villas nearby and 1 is a townhouse. They just have El Presidente in the address bar. But actually, in terms of apartments and penthouses, absolutely nothing again. And we have a queue of clients waiting to get in there. And lastly, I'll show you a good one, which is probably epitomizes what I'm talking about. Alcazaba Beach, which is a beautiful development of apartments, townhouses, and penthouses on the beach, Estepona. There's 380 units on this development. We have 1 available. It's a penthouse priced at nearly 2 million euros. There should be between 15 and 40 on that development available at any given time. We have 1. So the reason this is happening, of course, is because Marbella is now the chosen destination for people wanting second home, permanent home, holiday home living in the Mediterranean basin. It's the California of Europe. So we've had a rush of demand, which of course has meant that a lot of the supply, the existing supply, the old supply is being snapped up. It's gone. So we're left with a shortage of stock, a shortage of supply, and still high demand, which means that if you've got a 2-bed or 3-bed apartment and you want to put it on the market at Alcazaba Beach now, you're in control of the pricing. There's 1 available at nearly 2 million euros. And okay, you've still got to price it fairly and correctly, but you haven't got any comparables to worry about. You haven't got any distressed sellers to worry about. You are in control of the pricing. So it's a great time. If you have a property on one of these prolific developments, it's a great time to sell. We, like probably most agents, have a waiting list of people wanting to buy on these developments. They won't pay ridiculous money. They won't pay over the odds, but you're in control of the pricing. And that is just a quick overview of the supply and demand on some of these developments and in some of these areas. If you want to be in control of the pricing, then you need to look at other areas, other developments that aren't maybe quite as prolific or well positioned, in the hope that they become well positioned or well located in the future. Or you need to hang on until there's more supply. But normally what causes more supply is distress, and we're not really seeing that. We haven't seen it since the big financial crash, really. We didn't even see it in COVID, because actually what we found was that property owners started to covet their assets. They wanted to stay there. They wanted to use them themselves to get away and travel and do things. So we didn't see a glut of supply during COVID. Who knows what's going to happen in the future? But I do think that it's a market that needs explaining, and I just felt that this was the best way of actually showing and demonstrating to buyers and sellers what is happening out there. Anyway, I hope this has been helpful, and we'll catch up soon.